everybody, welcome back to this series on mindfulness of breathing. And today I'm going to be talking about observing thoughts rather than being entangled with them. This has this kind of magical effect that when we're in a position of observing the thought as opposed to being enmeshed in it, there's less attachment. The thoughts can come and go more freely, and eventually there's a gradual calming down that happens. This is actually the way to creating what we call samadhi in meditation, which is concentration. It's not through just pushing thoughts away or shoving them out of experience, but actually through the process of just observing, they can come and go freely, and over time the mind begins to settle on its own. So I want to share a metaphor. So imagine that you are sitting at the bottom of the ocean floor and you can breathe underwater for the purposes of this. And you're holding a net. And in this net, slowly, algae and seaweed begins to accumulate in it. And then, I don't know, fish skeletons and other debris from the bottom of the ocean, whatever's down there, slowly begins to fill the net up with this current that's moving through. And over time, the whole net starts to become full, so full that it's becoming heavy and hard to hold on to with this current that's moving across. And then suddenly you realize that you can just begin to untie each loop of where this net is attached to the hoop, to the ring of the net. And you see the debris begin to become loose, and eventually the net lets go and releases. And instead you're just holding this, the ring of the net without the net on there. And all the debris and the fish can actually move right through the net without restriction, and there's a lightness to it. So this accumulation that happens in the net is like what happens to our minds from a young age. We begin to have ideas about who we're supposed to be, the ideals or expectations of what we might think we should live up to, the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the weight of human life, the challenges. And so much of that happens in the mind. And there are external circumstances, of course, which impact that. And of course, the idea is not that we're supposed to not have thoughts, but becoming enmeshed in those ideas as a reality is what hurts the heart over time, what hurts the mind. Because there is always going to be a dissonance and a discrepancy between what we think or want things to be and how reality actually is. So the net gets heavy. And in meditation, what we can do is through beginning to loosen that up, we're just observing those ideas, some of these fixed notions, and beginning to allow them to move through. So in mindfulness, every time we're observing the mind, we're loosening that net. And over time, objects can come and move more freely through our mind without clinging, without holding on to them. And this is what, in time, is how we cultivate samadhi in mindfulness of breathing. It starts through using an anchor, like the breath, like the body, allowing the mind to settle into it. And from this place of even just any degree of a little bit of calm or ease that comes up, we can begin to just watch the thoughts come and go, and it becomes less enticing to get involved with them when there's this basic ease and calmness in the body. And over time, there's this shift where our awareness can be more inclined to actually stay present than to get washed away with the thoughts. So this is what we're going to practice with today. So finding any position that feels comfortable for you, wherever you are right now, and just bringing an upright posture. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just finding your center. And let's just take a few deeper breaths, nothing forceful. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes, or you can just rest your gaze on the floor in front of you. And to begin, just setting the intention to, for the next 15 minutes, set down all ideas and expectations, and to simply settle in to this body which is already breathing. This body which breathes all on its own and has done so from the moment we were born. And to settle in further, we'll begin to scan down and softening the muscles in the face, the forehead and the jaw, allowing the shoulders to just fall back naturally, allowing the chest to open and release with each breath without constriction, down into the belly. And can the belly receive each breath with a softness? Allowing the arms and the hands to fall naturally and settling into the contact points with the floor or with the cushion beneath you. And just taking a moment to just notice the weight, the rootedness of the legs and the feet. Seeing if it's possible to breathe with and into the roots of your body. And from a wide perspective of the body, feeling the body globally, just receiving each breath as it comes and it goes. This awareness, which is at the center of our experience, is always there. This is the seat of mindfulness. It's nothing that we have to do. It's that which is receiving each breath right now. So we allow our minds to settle into this awareness and your body's natural rhythm of the breath. Just noticing if there's any degree of ease, any degree of contentment, of even joy in the mind from just being present with the process of breathing. Just taking that in and just folding experience back into the breath. Unifying the mind with the body. This is the practice of samadhi. And from this place of settledness now, beginning to turn towards any thoughts which may be coming through your mind. So staying rooted in the body and in the breath, and just observing. Kind of like softly gazing at the mind. Anything that comes through is okay. Just allowing it to come and go. Thoughts can be carried away naturally by the current when we don't hold on to them. Soft body, soft mind. So we keep the body relaxed around the upright spine. And this allows the mind to also be soft and open, yet alert. Each thought is just like debris at the bottom of the ocean, just floating past. No need to catch it in the net of your mind. And if anything does begin to stick, notice ourselves getting carried away by a thought. Just coming back to the breath, coming back to the body, and releasing the net. allowing the ease of the breath, the natural flow of the air in and out of the lungs to be home base for the mind. Feeling the whole body receive the breath. And from this place, we can shift towards an observer of the mind, watching the thinking mind come and go. It's impermanent, and ultimately not who or what we are. In this practice of mindfulness, we're shifting the mind from being a closed fist to an open hand. Simply releasing it from the grip of holding on. And in that process, something open and beautiful can begin to arise. The deeper quality of heart and mind, which is underneath all of our thoughts and expectations, can begin to come through. A quality of presence and ease, which is always available at the center of our experience. So, thank you for taking the time to sit and to practice. And I just want to offer up that this is also portable, not just something that is done in seated meditation, but as you move through your day, if you're in your car or wherever else, where you might notice the mind starting to, jump on a train of thought, just realizing in any moment it's possible to simply make the switch. Just observing what the mind is doing. And in that moment of coming back, it's a moment of mindfulness and an opportunity for gratitude and bringing greater ease into life. So I hope this was beneficial, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.